It will be difficult to see a man that the penis is that terribly small that will not fit in a girl that has been keeping herself. Oh. So why didn't you keep yourself to girl?
Wow.
And on the flip side, ladies that have not tasted sex before, when they see a man penis for the first time, they literally shout.
Yo.
No matter how, because they've been used to seeing juniors on strain in the street. They have not seen that one. So when they see it's still looking big for them. Okay. The girl that has tasted things, Anos, Anaconda.
Please continue.
So at the end of the day, a girl that has not tasted anything, she will shout the blood of Jesus.
Welcome to your all-in-one podcast show, where we speak to heal, to teach, to inform, and to educate. Get ready as we dive into today's episode. My name is Britney Fonki. You can call me Fonki Speaks, your favorite host. What's popping, people? Welcome to the All-in-One podcast show, where we speak to heal, to teach, to inform, and to educate. It's a super exciting year. We had to travel again to bring someone very special, because today is going to be very wonderful in the house. I am feeling so much heat already. I'm going to read her profile. She is super amazing, talented, phenomenal, diverse in her field and in her world. Ladies and gentlemen, she is a gospel artist, equally an event/wedding planner, a personal designer, the CEO of Super Bridals, a tourist guide and counselor. Ladies and gentlemen, with all due honor, Super MK. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
You are welcome to the All-in-One podcast show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on here.
God, I'm so privileged sitting by you.
It's mutual.
So, Super MK is a bag of many things. She's going to tell us more about her, because that's not all in everything I said. So you tell us a little bit about what you do and about yourself.
Okay. I'm a youth activist. Mm-hmm. It's not very out there. That's why I've been part of the Cameroon National Youth Council, the batch of the office of 2013 to 2016. I'm a realtor. That you want to get a land, you want to buy houses, you could get to me, especially in Kribi. And I sell perfumes.
Oh, entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Perhaps that's one woman.
Kind of.
What inspired you to get into all these?
The goal has always been to be a rich wife and not a rich man's wife.
Rich man's wife, not a rich woman.
The goal has always been to be a rich wife and not a rich man's wife.
Okay, people. I was like a fresh breath. A rich wife.
And not a rich man's wife.
Oh, let's soak it in. Wow, Super MK, your Nchia Mildred is her name on social media. It's Nchia.
My account, Nchia Mildred Kuala, and the music page, Super MK. The event and wedding planning and bridal page, Super Bridals.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's just for you. If you want to follow her, you search her up on social media. Before, let's just get into it today.
I'm game.
Yes. Before we were writing into the podcast, we were talking about so many things behind the scenes. And one of the major things is, why are you so much against men? And it's not really you're against men.
That looks like an attack.
No. Not like Trump. Like, why are you gay? No. Why your post you advocate for women a lot, and maybe, I don't know, it always sounds like you are not for. Not so you are not for. You talk in the light of favoring us women, and the men are always just lying somewhere around.
Interestingly, a lot of men let me not say a lot, a few have sent me mumu to thank me for speaking up for them. Oh. So it just depends. I'm just like an elephant. I may be small, but I look like an elephant and some blind people around. What you touch is what you get. So some people think I advocate for women. Some people think I advocate for men. But I'm kind of general. I just speak the truth on trending topics, on taboo topics. That's why we run the show. I forgot to mention that I'm a host of my personal program, Real Talk. There we call a spade, a penis, a vagina, everything by their name.
you come up saying what we don't like. What is that audacity?
Actually, over the years, is it Einstein and his bulbs? He had to try 1,000 times and it's 1,001 time that worked.
Yes.
Growth is uncomfortable.
Okay.
Truth sets free and you will know the truth and the truth shall set you free. Truth is painful even to the speaker.
Of course.
And truth looks like an attack. That's why people are uncomfortable with the truth. But it's the truth that changes people. And we've been in a society where women have been told not to say certain things. Like, I like to talk about football. I think I'm one of the number one gospel artists that support the Lions. When you talk about football, sometimes men would think women cannot be right on certain topics like football and politics, which is not true. The truth is the truth. It's not gender-based or gender biased. So I don't attack anybody. I just speak the truth. And I tell people, I speak the truth, even the ones I'm guilty of. It's a very strong place to be. Yeah. So the truth, first of all, is for me before it's for the people. Before the people.
Wow. And you are also a gospel minister. Let's say you sometimes preach. You preach to us online. It's so spectacular to see that. But how do you stand to say you face all these people who are not really comfortable with what you say?
It has been since from childhood. If there's something I have seen other people succeed in is to pretend I've tried, it doesn't go. So I've lived my truth. I always tell people where I'm coming from, even though I will not look like my problems. I always like to be real, probably because I left my parents quite young and I faced life at a very early age. Because I moved when I was in class 6, I had to double from within 5 homes. It's quite an experience. And so life is real, it's not a joke. You better tell yourself the truth. And that's what has helped me over the years. And the truth will make you have very few but very real people around you. And there is no time on this earth to spend it faking it. No. All we have is now. We don't know what happened next. So I choose that part of truth. And as a believer, as a Christian, Jesus is the truth. You cannot follow him and you don't walk in the truth. And the truth does not necessarily mean you're perfect. That's what people mistake. When you say the truth, people are like, you're claiming to be perfect. No. The truth is our way of life. And it becomes worrisome when it's Christians instead having an issue with people speaking the truth.
That's right. Wow. I'm already very emotional hearing that you left the house at probably 6 as a girl child.
Yeah.
Would you mind telling us what happened that you left the house that early?
Okay.
I'm just imagining your age.
It's not like I was from an unstable home.
Okay.
I'm from a very stable home and a common African home from whom one of my uncles visited. I had this thing that people like me from my childhood. So he told my mother, I'm going to take this child. It's no longer yours. It's mine.
Yeah.
So when I moved with the uncle, we first of all moved to a small camp called Miselele along the Tiko-Douala stretch. There's no light there. The house it took me a long time for me to make out the house I live in. The houses resemble. They have one toilet in the entire camp. Wow. It's like you take a flight to go to the toilet. Because you have to take a long line as this person is leaving, you get to enter. That's my experience. So there's no secondary school there. When I left there, I had to go to secondary school, Christ the King College in Tiko. And so my uncle lives in Miselele. He sent me to a family. I lived with the family. The arrangement they had, he was going to send money for food at this time. And it's he didn't keep his part of the bargain. So they sent me out. So I moved to another family. And this time I was like, ooh, because they were treating me good, giving me good food and all of that.
You felt welcome.
Unfortunately, they were transferred to Limbe.
Oh.
So they packed all of their things and left me in that house. Alone. So no food, nowhere to cook. And in one of those days, I've stolen before. The hunger was So I started walking, going far. At that early age, I was like 13, 14.
Okay.
I don't know, I didn't have a cutlass, but I cut down plantain.
Wow. With your
Yes.
hands.
And so I came back, I prepared it with this milk container, gather things and prepared in milk container. And one of the neighbors noticed. So the neighbor like, what are you doing? Then she started giving me food. Unfortunately for me, she was having issues getting pregnant. So the family, the in-laws had discovered that she was not pregnant.
Oh.
So they came after her and now
Oh my God.
she had to leave. One of the days I was just walking, I met one of my distant uncle's wives and was like, what are you doing here? I'm like, I live here. And she was like, I explained the conditions and she asked me to move. So I moved back with her. She was a good woman, widow, but she deals in vegetables and I was fine there. And after that, my uncle moved back to Tico.
You had to move.
Then I moved back to... So I don't know if you want to hear that aspect of me and my uncle. He was a nice man, but he was like African panacea.
Hey.
For some reason...
Back and forth.
Back and forth.
And
He will beat you for no reason.
Chai.
And you say he's giving you 50 strokes. If he reaches 49, the rule is that if you miss it, it starts all over.
Oh.
So that's where I'm coming from. So life is no joke. Okay?
Hi.
And now you need to hear this part. He was nice. CKC, Christ the King College, is a good school. It's an expensive school. He died when I was going to Form 4, third term holidays. The family came together, did everything. They buried him and they forgot that I'm supposed to go to school. And so I stayed home the whole of first term of Form 4. And now my elder sister, she just left professional school. She just got married. She was in a single room with her husband and all of that. She looked upon me and had mercy on me and took me over. So I went to Yaoundé. I schooled in Lycée Bileng Etukebe. They were transferred to Garoua. I moved to Garoua, Lycée Bileng de Garoua. Do you want to hear the story?
No, let's go. Let's keep that one.
Let's keep that one first.
This is another show.
So it's been quite a journey. That's why life is real. I don't fake it because probably from where I'm coming from.
Oh my God, it's like a roller coaster.
Please, before you get on, I want to say one last thing about this, my story. From Miselele,
yes,
we had to get into a tractor to go ride the common entrance and first school in Modeka. Did you know a tractor? Yes, a tractor. So life is no joke.
Life. Wow, that's interesting. Seeing you now, somebody will not even think you've gone through all the...
Sure.
Online, you look like this. You know, this Ajabo, soft children who grew up in, having it all figured out, especially doing all these things you're doing.
Yeah.
It's inspiring to young ladies out there. Yes, let's not just look at the glory, but the story.
Sure.
The story is the most important. And yes, to digress from what we were talking about, you made a post online and you said, if a lady disrespects a man, that should likely be that she's had, sex with the man. How true is that? Why is that point so...
I know there are some people that are badly brought up that they disrespect everyone. Mm-hmm. But that post was like, there's a magnitude of disrespect publicly, audacious disrespect, where it be like the man of you open up. Mm-hmm. There has been a sexual transaction.
Is it that this is general to every lady disrespecting a man who she's had?
No, it's not for every lady, but a lady who doesn't have that kind of... some ladies who don't care, they will disrespect you. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm calling on parents. When your daughter is uncomfortable with an uncle, the uncle is trying to touch them inappropriately. Don't just say, go and greet uncle now. Find out why they don't like that uncle. Mm-hmm. So most often it starts as a little girl. Girls who show disrespect for an uncle, an elder brother. This time incest is becoming a norm, So it's normal even from little girls. You find when a lady is unnecessarily disrespectful to somebody she normally has to respect, check. They have made sexual attempts. So but it looked like I was addressing something, There has been some controversies online
But that's a call to the men as well.
Yeah, that's a call to the men as well. I tell people, having an erection, men have this morning erection, which is normal, but don't allow your erection to give you direction.
allow your erection to give you direction.
If your erection gives you direction,
You have what? Let's look for another alliteration. If your direction gives you direction, it will give you situation. So
we put you in situations, uncomfortable
you
situations.
do not even intend to. I was actually, when I stumbled on that post for young people like us, we always fall for these men who come, like, you see, maybe a man who has everything we might want and start promising you all this. They are ready to remove their pants to have this man, and not knowing that was just all they wanted. So what can you say to us, these young ladies especially, who are after, what they have to offer, the men, and now we have to let our guards down?
One of the things I want to say is it all starts from where we came from home, how you see yourself. Most girls fall for that first because they didn't have the father figure. Okay. So they're in the quest of some kind of warmth and fatherly love they didn't get. And at some point it becomes transactional. This is what helped me even as an unbeliever before I got saved. Like, how much can you pay for my body? And if you buy, it's no advert for them. If you buy a bottle of Planet for 500, you're buying it for 500 because that's their value.
That's true.
How much will a man give you for it to be your value? And this is the trick why girls are in an endless cycle. When a man pays your house, let's say 200K,
yes,
and there's this peer pressure, there's this competition, and now he treats you anyhow, you cannot go. Who is going to pay for it when you leave him?
Oh, that's...
Two things are involved. Either you need to get another rich guy, so the love equation is not even in the picture.
No, it's for
so what you get, and to keep up the standard. A standard is, me call it standard even because a standard is what should not change.
That's true.
If somebody is the one taking care of you, that's not your standard. You're just living a temporary kind of life, because if we're a standard, it means you yourself can afford it.
And you cannot.
You cannot. So, like I said, if ladies would change this mindset of wanting to be that rich woman and that rich wife yourself and not a rich man's wife, this shift in paradigm is going to change everything about the dating.
Yeah.
Because you be rational. You would think you will not go after a man because you want needs. You go after a man. No, not go after a man. You accept a man because of values, not because of what they can give to you.
How can ladies set these values? How can they set these standards, maintain their values and dignities? Because this is what our society is quite losing, especially us ladies.
There's this unnecessary pride, and I will share this. When I left the university, I had a proposal to work with Guinness as their sales girl. Yes. I just got born again. That was not going to align with my new work. And I just had my degree, very beautiful. And I decided to pick up a house help job. Oh. It's not written on my face. So one of the things ladies don't want is to work with their hands. And it's so rational. And now, I don't mean I have it all rosy. I find it difficult to pay my bills. When month end is ending, it's like I'm going to have stroke. It's not like it's going to be all rosy and all of that. But it keeps you in a place. I have a picture of a man that I want. I'm not under pressure. And that's how some people have gotten to marriages. It was not who they really wanted, but it looked like a rescue mission. Yeah. So when you're able to do little things for yourself, you'll be able to be rational to like say, this is the kind of value I want. This is the kind of man I want. And you get it. Okay. And that said, I sell perfumes. I could help you for startups.
Very interesting. Yes. As a believer, as a lady in church, I was also having this conversation with one of my friends. We see a lot of church sisters who go to church because they have this papa or this that they're looking at.
Targeting.
The targeting, yes. They have the vision to be mama, and they don't really sit back to build that value themselves, and they get hurt when the papa now maybe gets another. What I feel like I'm so concerned about this church girls matter, because we see it every single day. People going to church because there's this man of God who is so on fire. Is their visionary man. So what about the official man? It's a problem to us because it's concerning that how many people are going to church for God and not for their men of God, especially ladies. See, so
That's an interesting one. Unfortunately, I'm going to be stepping on some few toes, and it's okay. I'll blame first us, the preachers, how we presented Jesus. A lot of people see God as a supermarket to come buy your husband. No wonder we sow dangerous seeds to buy the husband. We think we are doing some kind of transaction. And we didn't preach to people because before Jesus came, people were having money. Some of the richest people now, they don't still know God.
That's true.
So how you can get married without God. You can have a lot of things without him. The difference is that, like scripture says in Joshua 1:8, that this book of the law shall not depart from your mouth. Meditate therein. In it, you will have good success. The difference in being with Christ is that you're going to have good success. Yeah. So let me delve into the major thing you asked. The ladies who want Papa is just for the grandeur. It's just for the splendor that comes. The picture in their head is the carrying of your handbag. And you tell sisters in the house, come and help you dry clean your house. Yes. You come and sit down matching outfits. To tell you the truth, when I just got saved, I so loved the Lord and I saw myself like I'll better serve God if I marry a pastor. And I actually prayed that I want to marry a pastor. I unprayed the prayer. The burden that comes with being a real mama pastor, I'm not talking about some of the the things we have now, you know. And what it takes, like, I had this challenge. I work with a certain mama pastor that she was so insecure. If you don't know what it takes, you'll be so insecure. You'll be angry at any young girl in church. And I wonder why they think it's always a beautiful girl that's after her husband. I don't know why I'm not suspecting I don't know if they're ugly girls. They are suspecting
those ones,
the fine ones. So one mama pastor called me one day and like, you did try for dress, but no man if you pass me for the church.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen things. Hey. So if you know what it takes, like everybody that has a genuine call, why I like this military kind of is because one of my things, my major thing, I wanted to be one of the first or a female governor in this country. Wow. But God had to come in and change. It's painful. You will cry, man. So being a pastor's wife is also like a calling.
It's true.
You're going to go through a lot.
It's an office.
It's like you are pastoring the pastor. It's a place of prayer. It's a place of intercession, and intercession is not for lazy people.
That's true.
You will be, if you're a real pastor's wife, that just to go and sit by your husband, sometimes you really wish to sit behind, because pastors too have issues. Mm-hmm. When you see any great man, he also has a great weakness. Yeah. And most pastors, they have erection, direction issues.
Wow. As men.
As men, you know. And there's something about when you're pastoring, it has a lot to do with emotions, because when you're listening to people, if you don't empathize with them, you'll not be able to solve their issues. So pastors sometimes easily get emotional, and that's a neighbor to sexuality too. So dear girl, if you want to marry a pastor, just know he's not carrying your handbag. It's about the work that is done behind the scene. Can you carry the man's ministry? You want to be, I don't know, who is this? My pastor's wife is one of my major models in this ministry. She's not loud. Okay. Reverend Beatrice Nyango. Wow. Sometimes when people say, oh, Reverend Nyango preaches good, I prefer when she preaches. But you hardly hear, she has taken a position, like somebody who is not anointed, like somebody, and she's the one backing him up. They're going up to the nations, and she doesn't mind.
Yes. She's unbothered.
She's unbothered to see the man. Is like, I'm just there that you move forward. But if you don't have that kind of mindset, that's why you see many women ministries that God did not ask them to start. Some of them are even in some kind of competition with their husband, you know. And some brother fair, yes.
Like that.
When that is there, I come and say, I see, it's okay.
It's okay. You should not go further. You step on toes.
It's okay. But there are some good pastors' wives out there. The Reverend Mrs. Mbwabos, the Reverend Tunde, Steve's wives, Mama Pastor again. Yeah, there are a good number of them, but there are some other ones, Sha.
You said there are a good number, but you can remember just two.
And those, no, if we want to go, they're actually a good number. I can name like 10 of them, if you don't mind. But the issue is, there are many more. You hear that pastor's wife pour hot water on somebody. I'm like, a lot of them, they have not died in the Lord. They collapsed in the Lord.
Yes.
So, before, and these people I'm naming them, I followed them for some years.
Yeah.
And they married the pastor, and both of them are working together real hard. It's not just a dressing wife. And let me give one shot to pastors. Over the years, I've witnessed the rate of divorces because there is some secret competition whose wife is more beautiful than whose wife. I was somewhere and a pastor was saying every pastor brags about their wife, but when I'm there, the statement does not hold. And so you just go for a flashy girl that has nothing to offer. Ngongong, she must be yellow, very yellow. I don't have anything about yellow people. I'm not very dark myself. But if I were a man, I would marry a dark girl. So, but then I appreciate those who are naturally fair, though. But pastors over the years, some of them, they are the cause of their trouble. They just went out for some flashy girl because they were in competition with their pastor friends. And no wonder you are seeing Shaggy. Carry your cross and follow the Lord.
They want Nicki Minaj with Chioma Jesus vibe.
No, but sometimes it's okay to have that blend. There's a part of you that only your husband should know, that crazy vibe.
That's true.
That you rock him and he cannot even look at any other woman. That's not what we're talking about, though.
Alright, this particular one is so long. Oh, super. Okay, there was something you made a post on, like you said there are some separations that we should, after a long run, we're going to pray and thank God that it happened.
Yeah.
And why was that? Is it that, we always cry, especially relationships. You have some ex in that to go sit back and say, why God? See what's lost her.
I've suffered. Anyway, that post, those who understand me, it will take a lot of people, except those who have known me in the past 10 years. Okay. By the grace of God, I operate in the prophetic. A very few people know. Because prophetic now is just to have your camera and to have your mic, And you go online. Where are you watching from? Those of us that see we're watching from Batibo and Bafut, you don't see us. It's those that are watching from Chicago, Canada, South Africa, those kind of things. So, but like I was saying, that post came from a place of prayer. I just finished praying and that word came. It was first for me, that people should anticipate separation. And separation is not friendly. One of the people, I received a word that was going to separate with somebody, a mentor. The person was that kind of mentor that he loves you and can give you 300K, not can, will give you 300K that change your wardrobe. So when the person told me and was precise that God is going to cause a separation between you and this person, I'm like, you're joking, man. My answer prayer, you must be mad. And the way the thing happened, there was a separation. And in the area of relationship, there's somebody I had that I knew that, we're married now. That is just a matter of time. In the first case, I just woke up one morning. I don't want to get into the details. Maybe some other podcast will be solely talking on relationship. I just woke up to Facebook, wedding pictures on Facebook. Jesus. So sometimes the separation will come unexpected. You get. And the second case, what helped is that I had not called my pastor that somebody is coming to see you. The person was even like, let your family know I'm coming. The person had come to Cameroon twice to assure that he's coming. Sometimes when somebody travels, take a flight to come over, it shows they are serious. And just woke up one morning and the person ghosted you. But now, the second part of the post that says you will thank God. If they bring those same guys plus salary, I will not take.
Maybe it's after the thing has happened, then you start seeing some possibility. Like God really,
Yeah, that we God actually
intentional.
saved you.
Yes, God saved you from it, and that's what we don't want to embrace.
Yeah.
At the moment when it happens, the separation happens, we feel like we've lost it
Yeah.
entirely, like our worlds have crumbled and crushed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very powerful, and it's clarifying us a lot, and that's painful too to deal with. I'm just imagining, God, you're powerful. You're so powerful. So what made you to come up with this thing? Time no day. I was the one to ask under your post. You always like time no day.
Okay. Time no day.
Time no day.
My view of life and the way I do things is, like I said, is because of my journey. I've lost a lot of friends. And one of them that inspired me, she lived as if she knew she was going to die. And of a truth, we don't have time as per scriptures.
That's true.
So this particular friend of mine, she so industrious. She picked up a job in an oil company and she bought her wedding gown herself. And in a few months to our wedding and stuff, we're already making plans and all of that. That kind of friend that went to America to do studies and come back and will come and look for you right in Bamenda.
That's true.
And she had an accident. She died. And it's the wedding gown that she was buried in. I have another friend that he will literally give you his school fees, not know where he's going to take it from. Gives out his room. That sisters, if I'm more vulnerable, I'll sleep in church. So kind. And he died of a heart issue. I can go on and on and on and on and on. So time no day. All we have is now.
Oh my God. I don't want to cry. I'm not really there. Wow.
Yeah.
This is heart piercing. Just talking about it.
Yeah.
Making me to reflect a lot about what are the things we always procrastinate doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, like when I'm 30, who told you will reach 30?
You reach 30, exactly.
And I'm 40. Who told you?
Who told you
Maybe
reach?
your time reader was 35 and that's all.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yes. So let's act now. No time for procrastination. Super MK is so insightful. She's a blend. Joy, and then she just come and bring us to that point. Just think our lives. And how's ministry been for you?
Ministry.
You're in the prophetic. Like, how's ministry been for you? Being a minister, and also when you're a child of God, you prophesy. You also function in there.
Unfortunately for me, sometimes one of the best things I see is when somebody is newly pregnant. Or when somebody, mostly around pregnancy. You can be one day pregnant and God will show me. But then most of the prophetic words, right? I used to beg God, like, God, can I not prophesy something that is good? So
the person not expecting it. That's
yes.
what God is showing you.
And maybe for some people it's rosy. The New Testament people, maybe they see God like, I've been in a place that, and there's this woman of God I respect, Mama Aisha, she'll bear me witness. Like she we're in the same room, separated with a curtain. And the Lord has asked me to go talk to a man of God, a leader. It was raining in that time. And I was like, how do I go and start? He looked all perfect and all of that. And the Lord told me, if you don't go by midday, I'll kill you. So sometimes people think God is some sweet bonbon. He's a mixture of to some. That's why you see some people preach this hard gospel, people coming after them, they don't know what it takes.
That's true.
And Mama Aisha was behind the curtain. She told me, Mildred, go where the Lord is sending you. So I was hearing well. I went there. I was snubbed, but I told him what the Lord has said. And sometimes it doesn't happen immediately. It's 10 years after. Like if you see that guy, he while the mic come off for swim. He made some errors that the Lord has warned him. It was raining and he didn't see it coming. So the prophetic can be very challenging. It's a place for intercession. I think in the next few years, if we are not careful, we'll get another definition of prophetic. Prophetic is not this thing that I see online, that you are seeing like that, Then going to heaven, sister, you cannot be seen like that.
Because God is
I see you. I see. Hey, you are seeing. You prophesy to 200 people.
I see.
Maybe it's another prophetic that I know, but I don't know about this one. The prophetic, God, all the people God encountered prophetically, He first of all addresses your heart, the state of your heart, your character, before the visa thing comes into a picture. And so it's not a heart. It's not a mbong kind of ministry. To recognize a prophet, you mostly see they address the situation of the state of your life, the state of your heart, because that's what God is mostly interested in. Because God doesn't have a problem giving anybody. That's if He's the one giving. If you work hard, you have certain things. Prostitutes are getting married. You don't need to be in God before you get married. And some people have gotten married in church and they are beating them and killed them. And an unbeliever has not beaten his wife. So it's a
mix.
It's a mix. So it's not been easy. And sometimes God will tell you certain things to pray for, and the people are not aware, and the one of the people that are disrespecting you, you know.
Just like God giving you a word for your enemy. Like somebody, you have promised and vowed never to talk to that person.
Those are the kind of people.
Yes. That used to happen to me often.
Yeah.
I would go, I would argue, I say, no, it's just my thought.
Yeah.
And I'll keep seeing it, I'll keep hearing. Talk to this person. Pray for the person. I say, pray how? I say, pray.
You know, sit here do
call
me.
the person and pray on the phone. I was like, Jesus, Papa God.
And maybe they'll first of all ignore your call.
I say, the person is fair acting up. And then you're like, I don't know if call you. Like, now God don't talk so much. And this is also humbling.
It is.
Yes, it breaks down your pride. You hear God say something that you promised never to do.
Yeah.
And He humbles you. And it's always a call to just act according to, because it's for our good.
It is.
Not for the person, it's for us. So we are on to the most exciting part of the show. Let's call this the magic box section. Where we throw questions at our guests, and my guest gets to answer the question. And this is the rule of the game. You pick the question, you read it out loud, and then you answer it to us, the viewers, to me, and everybody in the studio. Thank you.
Tumbu boss calabash. How they sing in English? Magon boss calabash. Okay.
What's the calabash?
The Lord is seated on the throne.
Yeah.
As a single lady, what are the characteristics you look for in a man? Okay. Personally, I want a man that is a man. A man that is not insecure, that will support his woman and be happy for her wins. I don't want a very rich man. Like I said, the goal is to become a rich wife, so I can even dash him money. And I want a man that is a family man, a man that fears God.
Okay.
Because there's a dimension in which a man fears God. He will not do stuff to you, not because of the love he has for you, but because of the fear of God. That is in him.
That's true. So correct.
I want a man that is at least my height. My height and above. If we are same height, it's okay.
But above.
But above.
Not below.
Not below.
Not to look up to him.
Not to look. And now at this level, it's like I really don't have a choice because I've tried to negotiate. I think that's one of the reasons I stayed single for a long time. That I don't want a pastor.
Hey.
So
the Lord is saying something and you are saying otherwise. Okay. Oh, those are the further criteria. I think you should pick one more question.
Okay.
Let's just see.
It looks like I didn't get your question. Mago, boss calabash.
I'm gonna look at this. You answer all. Yes, answer all.
If he has all your criteria for a husband and broke, will you still marry him? Broke, yes, not poor, because broke is a temporary situation, financial situation. A man that is really poor, and let me say something. Poverty is a mindset. Okay. There are rich poor men and poor rich men. Richness is in the mindset first. There's a man that is maybe broke now, but with his mindset,
He's a very...
But I want to wonder if I'm in my 30s and you're in your 30s and something I never really show you go hard.
It go really hard.
So there should be something that is. And when I say I necessarily don't want a broke man, brokenness is relative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And truth be told, I'm one of those people, those who have known me over the years. I don't mind helping my man. And I don't mind. Like for instance, if bills come, if I have the money, I just pay and tell you, honey, the light bill came, if we're renting, yes, those things. But then, my challenge with a poor man is that each time he will become insecure.
Feel like you want to overshow.
Yes. So, sweetheart, please, dear future husband, if you're temporarily broke, we'll fix it, but don't be poor. Thank you.
And your 30s too.
Yeah.
I just finalize it. That's the third
The third question.
Yes. And, this is very interesting.
What is the worst experience you wish to never have on your honeymoon? Honeymoon! Let me make sure my pastor does not watch this podcast. One of the experiences... Dear future husband, as you're watching this video, I understand that sex is inherent. And there was no time God said Adam and Eve come for sexual lectures. It was just inherent. But what I would not like in my honeymoon is to have a man that will not know what to do. Or even if you don't know what to do, be willing to be open. Let's chat that this is what I want you to do.
That's before the honeymoon.
And why am I saying this? Because of what I put online, some people think that maybe I'm a virgin. I never had sex. I had sex before I got. So
Before the Lord saved you.
Before the Lord saved me. So I don't want a boring husband. Be ready, you understand? Be ready.
There's this lady which I was reading an article and stumbled her article, and she said she got married only for her expectations were high for the guy to have the manhood that would please her, and he was very small like a baby. So she was so disappointed and crying to God that she has kept herself all to just come and see this. But her expectations were wow, and she started crying from day one that she's going to suffer for the rest of her life. So I'm concerned. Should us Christian ladies not touch, not see before we enter the relationship? Or
a man will need to mumu me. This is what I want to say.
Yes.
The way God created the human vagina and the penis. If you have done vagina smell before in the hospital when you want to take specimen to do checkup in the lab, if you're tied down there and you're covered, right? There's a way the doctors struggle. The thing they send, it is or no?
The cotton.
It's not necessarily cotton.
Bud.
Sometimes it's not cotton, but sometimes there's an instrument like this. At least some, yeah.
Oh, it's big, eh?
Yeah. So they send it, your vagina is okay. You have difficulty, a girl that's been keeping herself to enter. I don't think there's a penis like this. So now let me defend men. If we stayed in the will of God to marry, that I marry as a virgin, my husband marry as a virgin, my vagina and his penis will be okay. Even the smallest penis will fit in correctly. Wow. So one of the problems you have is because you have tested anaconda. You have tested this one, and now a brother that is managing his candle, you come and start complaining that his penis is small.
Yeah.
So I ask people, when you're saying that the guy's penis is small, what do you have down there?
Oh, you have a well.
So don't blame people.
Is it a well?
Yeah, so it will be difficult to see a man that the penis is that terribly small that will not fit in a girl that has been keeping herself. Oh. So why didn't you keep yourself to girl?
You know. Wow. Is it that maybe some girls really want it to fit? Like
wait, if you are really innocent, how can you just see somebody's penis? I think that it will not fit.
I don't know. I really don't know.
No, serious.
Maybe the imaginations were just
this thing that I'm telling you is true.
It's
a lady,
real.
And on the flip side, ladies that have not tasted sex before, when they see a man penis for the first time, they literally shout.
Yo.
No matter how, because they've been used to seeing juniors on straying in the street. They have not seen that one. So when they see it, it's still looking big for them. Okay. The girl that has tasted things, Anos, Anaconda, she'll be like...
No, I think it's... When you want to spoil a podcast...
They will still feel like...
No, this thing should be... It should be... Let this noise be. It should be...
Please continue. So at the end of the day, a girl that has not tasted anything, she will shout the blood of Jesus. This should be the highlight of this thing. Oh, super MK.
Junior, now wait. Okay, they call Junior in there.
When I dragged you over, I am recording. I am not going to this video. Let's continue.
Why? No, it doesn't mean if you are innocent, you don't know define big penis. Well, you know, fix it. Okay, what we're asking, is it advisable for ladies to touch before they marry?
Yeah, let me get there. I was coming today. Unfortunately, I saw a video of a woman of God who said, don't make that mistake of getting married without touching the man's penis. A lot of people applauded, especially the guilty ones that are touched.
Who are touching?
Yes. This is me. Even if I touch, I will not tell you that it is right to touch when it's not right. And that's why I said I speak the truth, even the ones I'm guilty of. In the beginning, it was not so, just like the case of divorce. Jesus said in the beginning, it was not so. It was your unbelief, your stiff neck that made Moses to permit it. Okay. But it's not God's initial will. In the Jewish betrothal period, it was that serious that even when you were engaged, you were not permitted what we used to have in the traditional church.
Yes.
That you don't have that kind of contact with your to-be. And this walk we walk is a faith walk. And no matter whether you touch or not, there are penises that you touch. Health issues happen and the thing fall and cannot rise up. What will you do? So it's a faith walk. If you want to be too intelligent, sometimes Bible says to the forward, he's also forward. If you want to show that you know Connie, he will also show you that you know Connie. You can marry a penis looking all good and tomorrow the thing slips there and it's not rising. What will you do? So it's a faith walk. If you want to walk the faith walk, marriage is honorable, the bed undefiled. And undefiled is not necessarily when you open your leg. It's about the thoughts. It's about the handling.
The handling of?
Like the touching the penis, whether it's your size.
Okay.
So I go back to it, that if we live the life that God expects of us, you staying a virgin, to disvirgin a woman, no matter how, I've never heard a lady complain when she was being this virgin that the penis was small. Does that ring a bell?
It does.
Yeah, the lady will not say the penis was small because the vagina was okay. Keep your vagina and the penis you meet will be okay for you.
Yes, guys. Keep your vagina and the penis you see will not be too small for you. That's a take-home message.
There another experience I will not wish to have during honeymoon. Is to, because sexuality and hygiene goes together. And one go realize, say no life for wash.
Oh my God, guys. I'm sure we're not laughing alone. Wow. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's catch our breath. Thank you for watching. We hope you learned something new that will help you at one point in life. Please do us a favor by sharing this episode with your friends and follow us on all social media platforms as Britney Fonki. From us to you. See you in the next episode. Bye.